Hi, welcome to BNBForms. In this tutorial, we'll walk you through everything you need to know about managing seasons, rates, and block accommodation rules. By the end of this video, you'll be ready to create seasons, set up flexible rates for your guests, and block dates for maintenance or special events. So, without further ado, let's get started. You can create seasons by navigating to Seasons and Dates or selecting Seasons from the left-hand menu under Accommodation. A season is a special period that impacts your pricing and reservations. In simple terms, it's a range of dates with a special rate. Seasons can align with the calendar, revolve around holidays, or cover a time linked to events or guest trends. A season might include the whole year, an entire month, or just a week around a holiday. The exact time frame is flexible. On top of that, you can create as many seasons as needed for weekends, weekdays, holiday seasons, and so on. To create a new season, click Add New. Enter the season's title. Set the start and end dates for the season. If the season applies only to certain days, go to the Applied for Days list and select the specific days when this season's settings should be active. To make the season automatically repeat for the following year, select the Annually option in the Repeat section. Please keep in mind that yearly repeats start from the season's start date and continue for 1 year from the current date. Moreover, you can select the exact end date in the Repeat Until Date calendar to define when the seasonal pricing should end. With these parameters, it's easy to extend your seasons or end them as needed. You can set these up while creating a season or adjust it later by editing. Great! Now let's click Publish. Now I'll quickly show how to create a day-based season. This pricing period will be applied to specific days of the week. This season will overlap with the main season, but I'll demonstrate how to set its priority later in this video. So, after picking the dates, I select the needed days from the Applied for Days list. Perfect. Then I hit Publish. Once you've finished adding seasons, it's time to move on to setting up rates. You can set up 2 or more rates for the same accommodation type based on different accommodation conditions. For instance, you can create separate rates for refundable and non-refundable options, or breakfast included versus no breakfast. Guests can then choose their preferred option during checkout. If you don't offer rates based on these conditions, you can simply create a single rate. To start, click Add New and give the rate its title. Then, select an accommodation type from the drop-down menu. Next, click the Create Rate button. After that, click Add New Season Price to add seasonal prices within the rate. Remember, you don't need to create a separate rate for each season. Instead, add all seasonal prices to the same rate. Begin by selecting a season to define the time frame when these prices will apply. Now let's take a closer look at a base occupancy perimeter. It's important to understand how it differs from capacity. Base occupancy is the standard number of guests a property can host without extra charges. It's the starting point for pricing. If more guests stay, additional fees apply. Capacity, on the other hand, is the total number of guests the property can accommodate, including extra occupants. In short, capacity sets the maximum limit, while base occupancy defines how many are covered under the standard rate. For example, a single room might have a capacity of 3, but a base occupancy of 2. This means the standard rate covers 2 guests, with an extra charge for a third guest. By the way, you can disable the children option on your web if needed. And this will hide the children field and replace it with the single guests label. Actually, the base occupancy numbers in the rates menu are automatically pulled from the accommodation type settings. However, you can adjust these values in either menu if needed. To charge extra for additional adults or children beyond the base occupancy, simply set these prices in the respective menu. The final price will automatically include the extra adult or extra children fees specified in the rates menu. When it comes to variable pricing, you can customize the pricing for a specific number of guests or make exceptions as needed. Simply check the Enable Variable Pricing box and add the relevant prices. Keep in mind that prices in the variable pricing menu take priority and are used first to calculate the final cost at checkout. You can also offer discounts for longer stays by setting per night prices based on the number of nights booked. For example, a week-long stay might have a lower nightly rate than a single night. When setting these variations, always begin with the lowest price tier for accurate calculations. And as I mentioned earlier, to add a new price variation, you don't need to create a new rate. Instead, click Add New Season Price within the existing rate. With all price variations added, it's time to set the priority for seasonal prices. When season dates overlap, those higher on the list take precedence. You can adjust priority with the click using the Move to Top, Move to Bottom, or Move Up or Down options. Alternatively, you can reorder seasons by dragging and dropping. And once done, don't forget to hit Update. Perfect. By the way, the duration of each season is shown in the rate list, giving you a quick overview and helping you understand which seasons are currently active. You can also check if your seasons are set to repeat annually. Now that you've learned about seasons and rates, let's dive into block accommodation rules, another powerful tool for managing your bookings. These rules let you control when certain accommodations are unavailable, which is especially useful for special events or maintenance periods. It's not always necessary to block out a whole date. You can also restrict check-in or check-out instead. We'll cover all these options in detail. Okay, to block dates, navigate to Bookings. And under this menu, you'll find booking rules. Great. As you can see, I've already created one rule for all accommodation types. Now it's time to add a new rule and explore the available restrictions. I'll click the Add Rule button. From the accommodation type dropdown, I can choose whether to apply this rule to all accommodation types or to a specific one. For this example, I'll apply the rule for a particular accommodation type, not all. Similarly, if your accommodation type includes multiple accommodations, you can either apply the rule to all accommodations of that type or select a specific one. Next, you'll need to define the time frame for the rule. The default setting is not stay in. This means that even if you forget to select a specific restriction, the rule will still apply and prevent bookings during the specified period. If needed, it's possible to select all restrictions at once or unselect all options. For instance, for this rule, I want to apply this combination: not stay in plus not check out. The combination of the not check out and not stay in rules fully blocks the selected date, making the previous date as unavailable for check-in. And when you apply all restrictions, they function the same way as the combination of not check out and not stay in. The not check-in rule marks the date as unavailable for check-in. The not check-out rule marks the date as unavailable for check-out. And the not stay in rule blocks the date entirely. This means the date is unavailable for both check-in and check-out on the following day. Additionally, you can add a comment to remind yourself or inform your staff about the rule. And once you're finished, click Done, then Save Changes. All date-based rules, like block accommodation rules, are sorted chronologically by their from date, so the most recent rules will appear at the top for easy reference. And that's a wrap. Now you know how to create and manage seasons, set dynamic rates, and use block accommodation rules. With these tools, you can take complete control of your booking system. So, if you found this tutorial helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more tips and tricks. Don't forget to check out our other tutorials for even more insights. Thanks for watching. See you next time.